Yo, I'm sorry. It has been 3 or 4 episodes of My Hero, 3 or 4 weeks of no content on this channel, and I apologize. But there has been so much happening in My Hero, so much happening with life, period, that I haven't been able to put anything out. But my goodness, My Hero. The last 3 or 4 episodes since I've done a review, so much has happened. So much went down. I mean, we're talking about the students arguing whether they should go rescue Bakugo after Bakugo got captured at the summer camp. Bakugo ends up with the League of Villains. Bakugo ends up not accepting their offer, and he ends up raising hell in the League of Villains, to All Might popping up, saving Bakugo, or so we thought. Bakugo slips through his fingers. Why? Because All For One was revealed. All For One got Bakugo out of there. And then the All For One versus All Might, All For One versus One For All fight, ending up with All Might being victorious, but now All Might is no longer able to use One For All. So it is all down to Midoriya to carry on the flame for One For All. So what does this mean? Well, in the last few episodes, I'm going to cover the last 2 episodes, the beginning of the end of the beginning, and the students moving into the dorm. So the last 2 episodes really was UA going to each of the parents and letting each of the parents of the students at UA know that they will be doing a dorm system now. So instead of the kids going home to their parents, the kids would now have to be required to live in a dorm. That way they could be safe. There's been too many breaches. There's been too many leaks within UA. And so their aim is to put the students in the dorms to keep them safe, but also hopefully with the students in the dorms, whoever is the rat, whoever is the mouse, whoever is the leak in UA, they will be able to find that person, or perhaps that person could reveal themselves. So starting from the beginning of the end of the beginning, vice versa, whatever it's called. It starts out with Erasure and All Might going from student's house to student's house to pretty much tell the parents, this is what we're doing. Do you accept? Do you not accept? Most of the parents accepted it. Bakugo's parents accepted it. And hey, I gotta tell you something. I did not see that coming from Bakugo's parents. Bakugo's mom is just as angry as he is, and his dad's just chilling in the corner talking about, hey man, you need to chill out. And Bakugo's mom pretty much kept him in place. We also got to see Todoroki. We got to see his family, and we also got to see his dad. Of course, Todoroki says, yeah, I'll accept it. His parents have no problem with it. But then we got to see Endeavor in his weight room. He is upset that All Might is no longer around. He did not want the #1 hero passed on to him that way. He didn't want All Might to retire. He wanted to take it. He's upset. So fast forward to Midoriya. All Might shows up to Midoriya's house by himself, might I add. He didn't show up with Eraser. He showed up by himself, and he was talking to Midoriya's mom, explaining to her that we're going to go to a dorm system. This is just to keep the kids safe. And Midoriya's mom sort of rejected that. Midoriya's mom didn't want him to go to UA. She was tired of having her wishes ignored. She had told Midoriya time and time, I don't want you getting hurt. I don't want you to be reckless. He continued to be reckless, and so she was like, I don't want Midoriya going to UA. He can go to another school, but I don't want him to go in UA. And so All Might had to talk to her and sort of plead with her to let Midoriya go to UA, and she still declined and said, no, I don't want him going to UA, yet alone a dorm system. So Midoriya storms out of the room. Of course, he's upset. And so he reaches out and he grabs the letter that he got from Koda, who he saved in episode 4 or 5, I believe. And he showed it to his mom and he said, look, I don't have to go to UA. I just want to be a hero. This letter showed me that I am a hero. I don't need to go to UA. I just need to hone my skills because all I want to do is be a hero. And in that, All Might saw that Midoriya was far beyond what he could have been when he was younger, that he said, Midoriya, you're already a hero. And at that point, All Might humbled himself, and he absolutely just was face down on the floor and told them, look, you don't have to go to UA. If you don't go to UA, I don't have to go to UA. I can retire. I don't have to be there, but I dedicate myself to you to train you. And that left a lot of us in awe. It left Midoriya's mom in awe. It left him in awe that the #1 hero, the symbol of peace, would humble himself and say, "You are greater than me. You are the next to come." And I have to be honest with you, bro. The feels of this episode, the feels of that happening, I thought this was just going to be another filler episode, but this episode had so much meaning when it came to that exchange between Midoriya's mom and All Might. There was so much meaning there. And it just goes to show who Midoriya is and how All Might sees Midoriya, and the fact that All Might has committed himself to Midoriya is awesome. So now Midoriya's going to get training from All Might no matter what, whether it's UA or not. But come to find out, his mom ends up changing her mind and says, okay, you can go to UA. So that all subsides. But at the end of that episode, you hear All For One talking about how you think you've won, but you haven't won because you are dedicated to your students. And his route of training Shigaraki is he's going to be independent. He's going to have more ideas. He's going to become just this nasty villain without my help. I've already set him down the path. Independence is the way. Meanwhile, All Might is dedicating himself to Midoriya. So we're seeing a parallel here of All For One and One For All still. All For One says, I've already got him. He's on his way. He's independent. He's going to become just one of the nastiest villains. And All Might is side by side with Midoriya. And it's going to be crazy to see how that works out with the two. Once again, All For One, One For All, two separate sides, two different sides of teaching. I am excited to see what comes of this. Shigaraki and Midoriya, I feel like it's going to be the next big rivalry here of the villains. Midoriya will be the leader of the UA students, and Shigaraki will be the leader of the League of Villains. I cannot wait to see how that turns out. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this, and I've been getting killed. I said it on Twitter. This show so far, what it's shown me from the first 3 seasons, is just been great. This is the potential, and to me personally, it is the best anime of all time, and it has the potential, I believe, to be that anime, to take over the #1 spot. So the next episode was about the students going to the dorms. At the beginning of this episode, Erasure made it a point to tell the kids, all of you should have been expelled had it not been for All Might losing his power, had it not been for All Might and that happening, those events, you would be expelled. He goes, all 12 of you were in the hospital talking to Midoriya. 5 of you made the decision to go save Bakugo, you know, despite what we said. And the other bunch of you knew what was happening and didn't say nothing or do nothing. You should be expelled, but you're not. And that kind of hit the kids. He wanted to make sure they hit that spot first. You guys are not heroes yet. There still has to be order. And it sort of, that was the theme of this episode moving forward, was Erasure pretty much said there has to be order here. And so as the kids went into their dorms, as the students went into the dorms, they decided that they're going to have a competition. The girls said, we're going to have a dormitory competition, who has the best room. And so they start going to the boys' room, you know, teenage girl stuff, teenage kid stuff. They're going to each bedroom, you know, razzing each other, doing this and that. And it was, I mean, pretty much this was a filler episode. But the key was at the end when Sue, who was nowhere to be found, was telling them, look, there was no order here. And I said some mean things to you guys when we were in the hospital to try to get you guys to stop. You guys didn't stop. You guys still went. And she was upset about that. But what she was upset about was, and like I said, the theme of the whole episode was things have to get back in order and back to normal. She wanted things to go back to normal. And so it hit all the students then. Yeah, we're not heroes yet. There has to be order here, and we have to have things go back to normal. And it seemed like what the theme of that episode was. It was more of a filler episode, but once again, it had a little bit of meaning toward the end. And I do believe with the students going from dorm to dorm and you finding out these things about each student, I believe that's going to carry some weight later down the road. So I know people will say, well, this was just a filler episode, it wasn't that great, but it was still entertaining. And at the end, that had a lot of meaning, which was foreshadowing, okay, things are about to go back to being normal. We got to hone our craft. We got to go back to having things in order. We got to move forward pretty much. Man, I don't know where this is heading, honestly. I don't have any predictions right now. I had a lot of predictions in the first 9 episodes, and a lot of them, you know, came to fruition. But as far as what's coming forward, we don't know, and I don't know. I mean, until they start giving us clues, we won't know. Season 3 up to this point, great. This is the best season so far of the 3, just in the first 9-10 episodes. And like I said, I'll go ahead and say this, like, to me, this is the greatest anime of all time, and I think it has the potential to like grab that spot. But either way, that's the quick review. I'm sorry it's been a while. Like, my schedule so far and my schedule moving forward will be as such: My Hero Academia reviews, Black Clover, which is what I'm doing right now, Black Clover review. Indie reviews will still be a thing, Nintendo news will still be a thing, but for the most part on this channel, there will be a lot more anime focused content, anime reviews on top of the Nintendo content. That's what I'm doing moving forward. I will be streaming throughout the week on Twitch, so no longer on YouTube will I be streaming, unless it's for Splatoon Tuesdays or Old School Sundays. That'll be the only time I'll stream on YouTube. But other than that, it'll be just content focused on this channel for the most part. I really need to go back to where I came from. And I feel like that's the best way for me to go with this channel. I love streaming. I love meeting all the people that I streamed with, and I appreciate all of you, but it's time to go back to being content focused. All my streaming will be on Twitch. I'm affiliated there, so that's where it's going. So like I said, thank you for stopping by. If you did like it, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I said, I'm not really gonna be out there to beg for subs, whatever. This is just a quick review of what happened to My Hero and let you guys know what's going on with the channel. So either way, I appreciate you all. It's been Nintendo Direct. I'll see you guys later.